Labor took something of a shotgun approach into question time on Wednesday, starting with a series of questions that appeared to be based on the morning's media reports. If there was a focus, it came later on, as the opposition probed the government about its plans to deregulate universities.
The current cost of science degrees is capped at around $34,000. Recent analysis shows that the cost of a science degree will rise up to $100,000 as a result of this budget of broken promises. Will the Prime Minister guarantee that future scientists in Australia will not have to pay up to $100,000 in debt?
I don't accept that the education union analysis is gospel. Trust the Leader of the Opposition, the former union official,
the Leader of the Opposition
the
has asked
National Tertiary Education Union analysis, in inverted commas, as gospel. I am not going to give the guarantee that the Leader of the Opposition seeks, but I can give a guarantee. That no sensible institution would price itself out of the market.
The current cost of a nursing degree averages around $18,000. Will the Prime Minister guarantee that the cost of a nursing degree will not exceed the average starting salary in nursing, around $48,000 today, as a result of his broken promise?
All I can assume, Madam Speaker, is that the Shadow Minister opposite thinks that institutions are so stupid that they will destroy themselves. Well, they're not. They're not. We will give them the freedom that they need to be as good as they can be, and I don't know why members opposite are so frightened of freedom.
Recent analysis shows that those who take time off work to have children will pay around $120,000 in today's dollars for an accounting degree, including about $45,000 in interest, which would now take 36 years to pay off. Will the Prime Minister guarantee that women who take time off to have children will not be paying off their university degrees for the next 36 years as a result of the Prime Minister's broken promise?
Anyone going to an Australian university to do an undergraduate degree will have the course fees, whatever the fees are, covered by fee help. So no one need pay a single cent up front. And I am not alone. I am not alone. Let me quote, market-based HECS, that's to say market-based fees, will also help to improve our higher education system by making universities even more responsive to student needs and educational outcomes. Well, who was this wise man? Who was this guru, this sage, this seer, this prophet? None other than Labor's Assistant Treasurer. I can understand why not too many of his colleagues want to sit next to him. I think at the moment he's got a bit of a communicable disease down there, Madam Speaker. You know what it is? It's common sense. It's common sense. Only it's not very catching with members opposite.
The Prime Minister has refused to guarantee today that Australia's future nurses and scientists won't be saddled with higher fees and greater debts as a result of your budget you've just brought down. Will the Prime Minister at least guarantee young Australians that they won't be forced to choose between going to university or owning their own home as a result of his election lies?
Fair enough, the Leader of the Opposition being concerned about debts incurred by students, but at least those students would be going into it with eyes open. What about the debt?
There'll be silence on my left.
What about the debt that the former government saddled every Australian with? What about that debt? What about the $667 billion of debt that was just going up and up and up?
There'll be silence on my right and the left.
Crocodile tears.
Madam Speaker.
What a bunch of Labor's crocodile tears.